Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more engaging content. As a longtime admirer of Sylvester Stallone's illustrious career, I wholeheartedly concur with the sentiment expressed in this piece. The man has certainly made a name for himself as an action hero, from Rocky to Rambo and beyond, but it's high time he took a swing at the darker side of the acting spectrum. One basically was spent amazing by Sylvester Stallone is known for embodying heroic characters, yet when he takes on villainous roles, they tend to be quite unconventional. And for years, Stallone has been a towering figure in Hollywood's action scene, with numerous films of his leaving lasting legacies and shaping the industry for decades to come. Interestingly, despite his extensive repertoire, Stallone usually prefers roles as the hero or main character, despite being well known for his heroic roles. It's intriguing when an actor like Stallone steps out of his usual mold. It's not often that he takes on a character who isn't heroic. In fact, over his 48-year career, he's only played one villain, and that role was quite peculiar and over the top, which is saying something given the eccentric characters Stallone has portrayed. You know, Spy Kids 3D's Toymaker is Sylvester Stallone's silliest character, and the Toymaker is not your average villain. In an unconventional turn for a franchise that had already earned praise for its uniqueness, Spy Kids 3D stands out as particularly peculiar. The films, under the creative direction and writing of Robert Rodriguez, were designed with children in mind, aiming to be as thrilling, vibrant, and inventive as possible. This led to the antagonist of the initial film being a disgruntled Tony Shalhoub character sporting 4 heads and utilizing an army of robotic thumb people as minions. The series continued this wild and lavish narrative style and introduced the phenomenal Sylvester Stallone as the villain in their 3rd installment. Stallone plays the Toymaker, a former OSS agent who was imprisoned in cyberspace for treason against the spy organization. However, spending 30 years in cyberspace caused him to grow increasingly unstable, creating multiple holograms of himself to talk to and hatching a plan to capture the world's children in a virtual reality game. The character is wacky, has frequent arguments with his holographic selves, and his evil mastermind plan is deeply flawed on every level. However, it's a fun and unusual role for Stallone to have tackled. The only other villain in Stallone's career was very different from the Toymaker, although they are equally quirky and unique. In nearly half a century, Sylvester Stallone has primarily played heroes, but he once took on the role of a villain in an uncommon 1975 dystopian dark comedy that it was released before his breakthrough role in Rocky. Since the movie came out a year before, Rocky and Stallone wasn't yet famous. Playing Machine Gun Joe Viterbo seemed more like a job to make ends meet rather than a passion project. Well, despite its difference from the Toymaker character he later played, this role was portrayed at a different stage in Stallone's career and catered to a more mature audience. In the dystopian world portrayed in Death Race 2000, Joe emerges as one of the top racers, displaying aggression, violence, and an unwavering pride. He executes his sinister plots openly under the gaze of millions of spectators at home, ready to crush any opposition that arises. Despite their differences, both characters share a quirky, unconventional essence, being products of offbeat films like The Toymaker and Joe. I wish Sylvester Stallone would play more villains, even if silly ones. He's played enough heroes. It's time to be the villain. Although Stallone's eccentric villain characters might seem intriguing, they certainly are. It's captivating to observe an actor like him venture beyond their accustomed roles and embrace parts that deviate from their typical persona. Notably, Stallone has graced numerous franchises where he portrays the honorable, resilient, and strong protagonist, spanning from iconic series like Rocky and Rambo to contemporary ones such as The Possibility and Trade Brand, making more challenges in sights. And it also incites that all they might be creating ways that all those more. It's intriguing to ponder how Sylvester Stallone might approach playing a villain, given his extensive acting experience and the time he's spent perfecting hero roles. Transforming those skills into a menacing, fear-inducing villain could make for an engaging concept. Even if the role were more lighthearted or comedic, it would still be fascinating to see Stallone take on another villainous character, as it would add a variety to his acting resume. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.